Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. This weekend is the Wild Women's Symposium, the second year that it is going on. And in studio with me, I am joined by, to my immediate right, Suzanne Wagner with the Symposium, and also Jackie Brinkerhoff. How are you ladies this morning?
Great. Thank you for having us.
Oh, I'm so pleased to have you here. I'm thrilled about the really conglomeration, the people that you're bringing together to this symposium, because oftentimes we haven't been in situations where we can get access to all these various professions, background, which we'll talk about here in a moment. So to begin with, Suzanne, what gave you guys the idea to even bring all of these women together in the first place, and what is it about?
Well, what had happened was that Jackie and I had been on a personal growth process for many years, for like 20 plus years, and we just loved trying everything. We tried all these different tools and techniques, and what we both discovered is that every technique has a lesson or a value or a gift in it. And so we started comparing notes, and we thought, wow, we know so much about all these different tools, and we became teachers of many of those tools, and we thought, gosh, we really need to kind of bring it all together in one setting so that the women can actually get a taste test of all the different styles and types of inner work, spiritual work, work related to tantra and sexuality, knowing how to take care of their physical body and their health. And what's wonderful about the Wild Women's Symposium is that you get to make your own classes. We have 4 classes in every time slot, and you can pick and choose from 3 different categories, which is love, life, and light. And so the love category is all about sexuality and intimacy and how to make things better in your relationship and tantra. And then the light category is about meditation and spirituality and rebirthing and connected breath therapy and how to open up your spirit. And then the life category is about taking care of your health and your body and yoga and how to activate all the different parts of yourself. So I find right now that women really, we do so much for other people. We take care of other people all the time. And this weekend is designed to be like a spa weekend for the ladies, that they can take care of themselves and be in an environment that's super healthy for them and be supported by other women. Because our idea with this organization is about women supporting women. So it's a really beautiful event.
And like you said, this weekend is really about that education and empowerment.
Yes.
Why, Jackie, do you feel like this is such a valuable thing for women to come to terms with? Because I like how you brought up first, Suzanne, that oftentimes we're not really taking care of ourselves. We're trying to fix all these other things, including our family, maybe your kids, maybe your friends. But why is this so valuable?
Well, when you're in the airplane and they're going through the safety check, they're saying put the air mask on yourself first before you help others. And as women, we tend to forget to do that in everyday life. We often will, like you said, help other people, and we're running ragged, and we start to wonder, you start going down and doing life and realize, man, I'm really tired. I'm not really feeling the spark anymore. And you feel a little bit, but really what we're doing is helping women connect with themselves again, get to have a relationship with themselves. And Suzanne and I both have gone through this process where I did feel ragged. I felt lost. I felt like, where am I going with my life? And am I really providing a value? And so as through our journeys and through my emotional healing, I can speak for myself, I was able to start having a relationship with myself again through the various tools. And everyone has a different path, and that's why we've designed it so that way all these women can try the different modalities, because what may work for me may not necessarily work for you or the next person. But it's connecting with the right teachers that can help open you, discover what you have inside as far as what needs to be healed, what gets to grow. And there's many that find all these little gifts and talents that they have, that you start to give it some nurturing of yourself, and they start to grow. And the beautiful thing is that once someone starts stepping into that, there's that need to want to give back. And we start seeing them starting to reach out to others. And it's a beautiful tribe and connectedness that we end up seeing grow out of the symposium.
Wow. A part of what you specialize in is this mind-body connection. Describe what classes will you be teaching at the symposium?
There'll be 2 classes that I'll be co-teaching. The first one is all about healing sexual wounds. And so this class is a very delicate class, but it's one that's meant to help women start to understand some of the impact that can occur in one's life, especially with some of the sexual wounds that may occur in childhood, how our lives are built upon that, And oftentimes, and I'll be talking about very briefly about my experience, but it's not really talking about and reliving the experience. It's about what happens as you build upon that blueprint. And that some of the dysfunction and some of the things that just don't feel right later on in life, and how you can go about going and addressing and healing those wounds. The other class that I'll be teaching is about past life regression. And so I was fortunate enough to learn from Brian Weiss, who's very connected in with Oprah, and he's a psychiatrist, and he came across clients that actually had these experiences when he would put them into hypnotic states. And so I was fortunate enough to learn from him, and so I'll be doing a group past life regression and help people understand and how that can impact, again, present time life.
Fascinating. I love the varying degrees of, or rather the broad range of topics that you guys are covering. Suzanne, share with us what you'll be teaching about.
So I will be doing the opening and closing circles with Jackie every day. And so in those opening and closing circles, we'll be doing some meditations and some guided visualizations and some sharing and some dyads and asking each other questions and eliciting different answers.
Describe what you mean by this, and maybe give an example here with us. I don't know. I'm kind of putting myself on the spot, but I'm curious what you mean by this. For those who maybe have not done something like this before, it can be kind of, I don't know, scary maybe to open yourself up to what's going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, what we do is we do an inner circle and an outer circle. And the inner circle is facing out, and the outer circle is facing in. And then you have another woman in front of you, and then it's a guided process where you ask one woman a specific question, and she has to drop in and discover what that answer is for her. And when you do that, it's always amazing what you uncover. I mean, it's like when somebody asks you a question that most people would never ask you, this sudden truth about yourself becomes revealed, and you suddenly understand maybe where you're stuck or where you have been afraid to move. And so with the help of the other woman, you actually get to learn how to step into that, you know, like what would be your next steps to step into your highest self. So what's wonderful about the weekend is it's all about empowerment. It's, you know, we're not tearing anybody down, or we're not doing emotional trauma drama. We're actually, you know, trying to bring them into that place of, wow, okay, yes, I've had this life and experience, but now I can actually step into this new place. So with myself, I'm going to be teaching a class called Terma Tantra. And what I've discovered is that in my life that there were certain meditation tools, and I believe that in each of us we have a secret. Like I think of it like this, that Mozart probably didn't just become Mozart randomly. He probably had many, many lifetimes where he built up and built up to be this, you know, incredible genius that he was. And I believe that inside of us we all have a gift, that, you know, certain gifts don't come out until you're really ready for them, but I think sometimes we're honing them for a long time and trying to bring this thing out. So the Terma Tantra class is about teaching everybody how to go into their lower chakras, because oftentimes we hide secrets in the lower chakras. We like to live from our heart chakra up, but going into those deeper emotions and are difficult. And the easy example I like to give is that Mothers Against Drunk Drivers didn't happen until a child died because of a drunk driver. So this spark was ignited in a mother because of a terrible loss, but then she turned this terrible event into something that saved thousands, potentially millions of other children. So what is it inside of you that you are really impassioned about, what you really, really want to give? What is that thing you want to give? And what I've noticed in my life was that when I was doing a job, I wasn't excited, I wasn't enthusiastic, I wasn't passionate. I felt like I was losing my energy. And every time I did my gift, boom, I had energy, and life started working, and people wanted to pay me, and it was like, wow, why is somebody paying me for this? This seems so silly. And what I find is that our gift is oftentimes easy for us, but we don't see it as the gift because it's the gift, it's automatic, and we don't see it as having value because it's kind of something we've always had. So when you're in a room with other people that really want to empower that gift and that they can see that gift in you, it kind of makes you go, oh wow, maybe that is my gift. So the Terma Tantra class is a way to start to do a particular breath pattern and a guided meditation to call that gift forth, to kind of bring that into awakened awareness. I'm also going to be teaching a class with Jenny Staunchfeld, and she and I are teaching a class on sacred sexuality. And this is a huge subject that most people, I think most women really know in their core that sex is way more than most women ever experience. I think women are beautiful, sensual creatures, and that we want to be inhaled, we want to be adored, we want to be relished, but we don't know how to elicit that in our relationship. We don't know how to maybe coach or teach each other how to dive deeper into those places. And so we'll be teaching about how to set up a sacred space to actually create a sexually intimate moment that is passionate and powerful, where you actually get to express your desires and your fears and your boundaries and what you want in that. And it becomes a beautiful, sacred, intimate sexual experience rather than just a normal sexual experience. And those experiences really enliven a relationship. And I think that if a man really loves you, he wants to know what you like. He wants to know what will work for you. But sometimes we're afraid to ask for that. We're afraid to even talk about that.
Like you said, these conversations, oftentimes people are afraid to bring them up, to discuss them, and you provide that safe environment where women can interact with each other and speak with you guys and those that are there, and they'll create, I'm assuming, these relationships with even others because they're sharing these personal moments and realizing things, just like you said. And just even in those couple minutes that you were talking, I'm like, wow, there's a lot more to this than I think people realize. If we do want to attend this weekend, how do we go about doing that?
Well, we have a website that's at www.wildwomensymposium.com. On there you can click on an Eventbrite link and you can sign up for the classes right there. And so, and you can go for one day, you can go for the whole entire weekend. So it's a really wonderful thing that you can kind of make the classes the way you want it. And we're doing so many other classes. There are classes on rebirthing and classes on yoga and classes on feng shui and how to set up a beautiful, loving space in your home so that it elicits more peace. And so the feng shui person, whose name is Fontel Young, is actually going to be, taking your house, doing a diagram of your house and what will make your house work better and how the flow is really going to happen. So there's so many classes that are a variety of things. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a community. And that's what's been happening, that we're literally having people call us from all over the world. I mean, I had a connection with some people that said, we want you to bring this to India. We have people that say, we want you to do it in Florida. And so it's amazing that Utah seems to be the growing hub for all the metaphysical New Age tools. And it's an incredible thing that Utah seems to be the central point of this at this moment. It's beautiful.
Wow. Well, ladies, thank you so much for what you've shared. I have learned a lot just in the short minutes we've been able to talk. But like they said, go online and you can get more information of all the classes and information. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us. We'll be at the Prospector, and it's going to be a beautiful,
right here in Park City.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank
the
you so
Wild
much.
Women's Symposium this weekend. It is about 38 minutes after the hour. When we get back, we are talking about fishing for the fall and winter season with Rising. That's up next.